Folks, we have two more episodes of One Piece live action season 2 left. I gotta say that these are the highest rated episodes of
Oh,
the entire series so far.
I'm excited. Uh-huh.
With I think this episode is the highest rated episode. Episode 7 it got a 9.5 on IMDb, and episode 8 got a 9.2. So those are the highest episodes for One Piece so far. Uh, and and as of today, there was a podcast that was released featuring like all the members. I know some regions only get like episode one. Episode one did feature Inaki and Oda, which was pretty interesting. Of course, Oda's never gonna show his face. Just had like a little fish icon.
Mm.
But there is some news related to the One Piece live action. I just want to say beforehand because I know we were talking about it off camera,
Mm-hmm.
and this is, I mean, I'm breaking it to you right now as well.
Mm.
They will not be doing all of the One Piece manga and anime in the live action.
Okay.
Oda apparently has already figured out how much live action stuff he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast members themselves, the main core, the Straw Hats,
Mm-hmm.
they know where that is at, and they've now
Mm-hmm.
put out hints slash alluding to where Oda would most likely want the live action to go to. So, if we're thinking about seasons upon seasons, like all right, Gear 5, probably it's not happening. That for
Mm.
sure, it's not happening. My guess is, I mean, because we're gonna be eventually watching the anime, so there's this thing called the Marine Ford arc, right? I think that's where they will stop the live action at, and
Mm-hmm.
that will be just before the time skip that
Mm.
happens in One Piece, and it would make sense if that's where they go along with this, because my idea would be that they would stop at the time skip and then do a montage of all the future arcs, and that way they can, like, even cover some of, like, as a quick montage, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
a 5 minute thing of like what the future journeys could be. Because what you don't know, and it's not, I guess that's, is it a slice, well, no, it's not. I'll say it so that it's not a spoiler because you're gonna watch it eventually. But the future arcs of One Piece have a lot of the members, just they'll just focus on like the member itself. So there'll be like an
Mm-hmm.
arc that will just focus on Luffy, arc that just focus on Zoro, an arc that just focuses on Sanji, and they're like the main character and stuff like that. As opposed to what you're seeing right now is just that the group is all together, and we're getting more members and stuff like that. So I think yeah, that piece of information came out. So that puts an interesting wrinkle for the future of the franchise, and that the cast members know that there's a like finite end for
Mm.
the live action, and not all of it like will be done, because they were making jokes about, like, yeah, when this thing happens for Luffy, I'll probably be like 80 years old
Mm.
at the rate that they're going. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's I guess for nowadays, for how things
Mhm.
are produced, it makes the most sense. And it also, on the positives, it doesn't tie up all these actors to long-standing contracts.
Mhm.
It doesn't put them in like MCU jail.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? So that's good. The other thing is like when you're a fan of something that is so long running, it is completely understandable when you're just like, yeah, there's just too many characters. Like this truly feels like an X-Men situation.
Yeah.
That there's just too many characters to include in a story that's going on for almost 30 years. And yes, it would be wonderful and it would be lovely if we could get like, you know, 30 years worth of live action content, but that's just not absolutely feasible in this day and
Yeah.
age. It's about picking the right stories or stories that have the most impact, or themes that have the most impact to get the point across. Like I'm a little disappointed because I really enjoy the live action series,
Yeah.
but I'm also old too and I get it. Like
Yeah.
Not that I'd mind watching these young rapscallions go all the way, on adventures till I'm 60, till I'm 80. I'm sure I'll enjoy it just as much at those ages. But yeah, I get it. It does make me really sad though, because I think about like, to bring them back up, like Hercules and Xena or Star Trek or, you know, um Babylon 5 or all these other stuff, all these other shows that were so long running way back in the day, and understanding too that those types of schedules, really are they hurt and they're exhausting for the actors, for the people involved, but they were also jobs that you could come back to. Um, for some actors, you didn't have to worry about it, and that we got full fleshed out, stories. I guess like the difference is like something like Star Trek or Xena and Hercules, there's nothing to follow. There's no like
Hmm.
book or anything to follow, so they're just making shows and writing their own stories and stuff. But yeah, like I hope that it is a situation where we at least get 7 seasons, kind of thing. They're only doing 8 episodes, right? And that's the
Yeah.
other thing that I look at as an avid TV watcher for so many years. 8 episodes at an hour each, every 2 years, where I'm like, you could fit almost 2.5 seasons in one season of Star Trek. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it is very like, guys, we could produce a little more. We could tack on 2 more episodes. We don't need to cut the seasons down. Like, you know, we could flesh it out a little bit more. But, as long as Oda is happy and comfortable with it, with where his story and his vision goes, and it's a consensus that has come, with Netflix and the actors and the production crew, and everyone's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's okay that we end it here. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. It
Yeah.
sucks, but it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess that with that new information out there, I'm probably guessing we get about five, depending on how they. All right, so as I went back once again and looked at like the manga like breakdowns, maybe seven actually might be like the full end, but I would go on a limb to say anywhere between 5 and 7 seasons is where One Piece the live action would end at. It really depends on how fast they do the arc that comes after this season here in the live action. It really depends on how much they dedicate to season three. Because if the entire season three is the arc that follows after this, then that will give you an idea of how the pacing is going to be moving forward. Because then I would
Mhm.
expect season four to cover an entire arc similar to what they would do for the Alabaster arc, as they will call it. But you know what?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
honestly though, now makes so much sense why they're putting so many people like, hey, there's that shadow guy. Hey, there's the silhouette of this person. Hey, we're name dropping this right now. Now it
yeah.
makes all the more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, because the guy with the hat, Sabo, is nowhere in this portion of One Piece, like free time skip. So, um, yeah, that is it just makes it a little bit more interesting, and why
Mhm.
certain characters are now at liberty to just be killed
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess with that said, let's jump into episode 7 of the live action, and that is Reindeer.
Say something. What are you? How old are you? Why won't you talk to us? See, I thought he was special, but if he's just a
All up in
regular
his
animal, maybe
face.
we cook him up in a stew. Oh, Sanji, that is a great idea. With some onions, some
Yeah,
carrots,
please.
some rosemary.
Are you a bear or a person?
I think he's a raccoon or something. I mean, if raccoons could talk.
Don't 2 legs and a top hat make him a person?
Yeah, but the feathers and the fur
Asking
kind
the
of
most
make it an
important
animal.
questions.
Yeah.
Can he be both?
No.
He about to fuck him up. He should. Fuck him up, little guy.
You can talk.
Who mattered a great deal to him. This was during the Great Doctor Hunt. That
Wait a minute.
was rounding up all the doctors in Drum Kingdom and holding them hostage in his castle.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Chopper's
Any
backstory,
MD
man.
resisted. They were killed. And soon, there were just 2 free physicians left. Yours truly. You gotta be kidding me. And cure all mushroom. Not worth
Yeah, her
injury or
laugh.
death for something that doesn't even exist.
Well,
There's a sucker born every minute.
Could you not be so cruel? They only believe.
That's my cue. They'll never catch me alive. See you around, old quack.
Not if I see you first, you bag of bones.
I do enjoy when old people fight. Argue like that.
Safe at last. Idiots. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good after. Shit.
Just curse. You just curse. What's happening?
And you have a potty mouth.
yes.
She's very sassy.
Yes.
Why haven't you said anything before? Come on now. Look like they can chop down trees.
Yep.
Tony Chopper.
That's a good name. That's what I'm gonna call you.
Chopper. I like it.
What if I just cried myself to sleep for the rest of the day? What if I just stop watching and just go to bed?
It's my extreme pleasure.
Working with him,
You hear the song?
learning from him, healing from his wounds. They were like 2 awkward peas in a pod. But like any relationship, they had their blow-ups.
That could have killed me.
What are you talking about? I saved your life. Why would I try to kill you now, you blue-nosed fool?
Don't call me a blue-nosed fool.
Oh man, get him, get him, get him.
These 2, bro.
Just straight cuffing that old man.
Yeah.
Pouting, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's upset.
This is
Everybody got a hat. What was I saying before? Everybody got a hat.
thank you.
You know what? I don't like where this is going. I think we should stop watching it now. And then I'm just gonna go back to my bed, curl under the blanket, and cry. Okay?
Cross your hoofs, Chopper. A miracle. Yes.
Yep. Miracle.
A medical marvel. You see, the powerful emotion that he experienced from looking at cherry blossoms had healed him.
Wow.
Look here. This flag, it's a symbol of conviction. It means nothing possibilities. Hoist this flag and fight like a pirate.
What's a pirate?
Oh man.
Pirate is someone who has adventures and
Yeah.
But the good times didn't last.
A perfect actor.
They rarely
Okay.
do.
We can stop it now. We can stop the episode now.
And in other news, Chopper, I'm happy to say your treatment is finally complete.
Really? Thank you, Doc.
Free to live your life any way you want. Now go. I have work to do.
But I'm not healed. I have a stomachache. I have a fever. I think my antlers are breaking.
You're fine.
But
I'm done with you! You blue-nosed fool!
Oh man.
no. Why?
Where's your pet?
Chopper's not a pet. I'm the only friend he's ever known. That's... I know. Time
Oh man.
is not on my side. Korea. Please. Please. Finish my life's work. It's working.
Damn, bro.
I got it.
Oh.
Chopper, what?
Chopper, the
What the hell
realest.
has happened to you? What? Chopper, where have you been?
In the Valley of Death, I found the mushroom. Please, I want to become a doctor too. And I want you to be my first patient. Teach me how to be one.
Oh
Why
man.
can't a reindeer be a doctor?
Of course you can, Chopper.
This man went through hell.
You've got the most important qualification. A big heart.
Oh man.
Oh, my boy, my boy.
Made him some soup.
What mushroom? Show me.
See? The skull and crossbones means anything is possible. Any disease can be cured.
You idiot! That symbol means it's lethal. Whoever eats that mushroom dies within the hour.
You're lying.
I do not lie. He knew it was poisonous. He drank it anyway.
Why would
Oh,
he do
man.
that?
Because he had a soft spot for you. In his misguided, oversized heart.
Plot twist.
There is no such thing as a cure-all. That's why doctors are needed. save lives. If skills, you will not save a single person.
But doctor said...
That fool.
Yeah.
Dr. Hiriluk won't be back. He's going to make Drum Castle his grave.
Yeah. Hiriluk the goat. OST is perfect.
My dying breath. You can't kill me.
Oh man.
When does a man die? Is it when a bullet pierces his heart? Or he's stricken by an incurable disease? No. Is it when
Oh, they're doing this. Oh,
he eats soup made from a poisonous mushroom?
oh man.
No, 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 no! A man dies when he is forgotten.
Oh man.
Please don't hurt him. He is my son. I've had a marvelous life. Shoot him! Thank you, Chopper.
Oh man.
Here's to you, old quack.
Ah, not the hat flying down too. Oof.
Call me Dr. Reen.
Oh man. Dr. Reen is here.
I'm sorry for snapping last night.
Yeah, I've been through a lot.
Just the pressure getting to me too, I guess. But I brought you breakfast.
A cold one.
We're cool. What is it?
Smoke.
Did you just volunteer to be acting captain of the guard?
You did tell me to do something.
Oh.
Hey! I told you not to touch that.
I respect all pirate flags. They shouldn't just be sitting inside some box. They should be hung. Proudly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm a monster too. Isn't it great?
The traitor lives.
Not for long.
Oh man. One Piece live action episode 7 in the books. Chopper's backstory. Yeah. When I saw that it got the highest rating, I already knew because this was one of the backstories that hit the hardest amongst like all the backstories you're gonna get in One Piece. But going through it for the second time, watching it through the lens of the live action, they kind of picked a better Dr. Hiriluk to portray in the live action. Couldn't have picked a better actor. All the roles that were done, absolutely superb. But for you that is watching this for the first time, your opinion matters more. What do you think? What did you think?
10 out of 10 episode. It's probably, I mean, I don't know what the season finale is, but just so far, this is my favorite episode of the season. I think of both seasons. Obviously, because it affected me the most. I'm trying to think, like, I don't believe any part of season 1 hit me as hard as this, obviously. Um, for emotional impact, this probably goes hand in hand with X-Men 97 episode 5. Like, fucking wrecked. Fucking wrecked, man. Um, I definitely have to talk about the societal and political nature of everything that happened in this episode.
Yeah.
So when we think of like Warple and how he wants to rule his kingdom, it's very much what a lot of dictators do. Make things scarce and or make something so valuable that the threat of taking it away sadly turns people to their unpleasant natures and uh yeah, it's very um trying to understand it on a human level too, as you know, as us as individuals who struggle, who have been without. um and I've always been of the mind that it doesn't matter how hard it gets, we can't just turn against each other. That's um even for when things get hard for you personally. Of course, you know, we are all human and we lash out and some of us just let fear rule us, but you know, can't let it, right? Because it doesn't get you anything. All it does is get people hurt. And then it comes back around and gets you hurt. Um But it's seeing it and understanding it too in a real world context that that mob mentality and that mob fear is a pandemic that crawls through a lot of people and a lot of society. We see it all the time. I can't go without, because without they already have a struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. So if they take away this paycheck and I'm without, then no, I have to do what I have to do to make sure that I'm not. Instead of coming together, I mean, it is them coming together, but they're coming together in the wrong way, right? They're coming together to be like to to hurt somebody else or to hurt other people in the guise of, yeah, if you do this for me, I'll make sure everything's peachy keen and way better for you. But it never turns out that way. And as we see here, like from Harlock, Chopper, Dr. Reed's story, like going from the past to where Drum Island is at now, right? And also going back to that like government concession, Warpole doesn't care. It's about the illusion of security. But it's all about the real actualization of power. Um, how can I make, like, I'm just gonna smoke and mirrors you guys into thinking that everything is fine and dandy until you know my stomach hurts and now I'm mad, right? Until I, the king, am slightly inconvenienced in any way, or there's some rebellion or dissidence or some kind of conscious thinking. No, we have to nip that in the bud. And then seeing how, he indoctrinated Drum Island and its people into thinking that this was a way of life. And then uh once shit really hits the fan, Warpole cuts and runs, and everyone is. And but it's also, he already showed them what he was, right? He's like, he took all the doctors away. Hey, I need all the doctors. You guys don't need the doctors anymore. I need the doctors. I got to make sure that this resource is in my eyesight uh the whole time, because I don't need all this other bullshit happening. Um and what it means to be someone like Dalton in the system, watching it all collapse, and then but still part of the system, right? But then being influenced by other people, going, it doesn't need to be this way, right? And then Harlock, who's just like, who's been hurt, who saw the world for what it was, right? And he himself is being chased down. It's still like, nah, I can't let this disease of negativity and fear and pain encrust me, because somebody has to look at the bright side in a way. Someone has to do right. So even for a shitty scientist and a quack doctor, he's gonna keep trying. It's very much just like what a lot of people should do. Shit, fuck, this was a mistake, but mistakes are best learned from. I love when he says that today's frog is tomorrow's prince, and it's like, but that's all science, right? That's all technology. One big fuck up, one big beaker explosion, and eventually you'll get it right, or eventually you'll find something else to get right, because these mistakes kept happening. It's learning, it's life. Um, and yeah, just watching Warpole turn his citizens into his mob, right? And them chasing Chopper, and when he goes, it's that idea of fear makes people lash out against things they don't understand or things they deem different. Um, and we see it all the time. If you're not following underfoot, if you're not following along with us, it doesn't matter if you're suffering with us, but if you're not following with us, you're a problem. Um, and then seeing these three misfits come together, and even an understanding, and Dr. Ian and Harlock, it's like, the ideals of the optimism, and then just there's also a realism when it comes to Dr. Ian, like, yeah, fuck these people. Um, what the fuck is the point? I'm gonna keep doctoring though. Like, if someone comes to me, I'm not gonna turn them away. I'm gonna give them an earful. But yeah, fuck these assholes. They're chasing me. And I get her, and it makes you hard, and it makes you, very cynical about the world, and the fact that Harlock really held on to, no, it's we can change this, we can make it better, and and then finding that in Chopper too, finding someone who is different like him, and understanding these labels, this rebel, this, you're doing too much, or you're too different, or you look this way, you look that way, and it's finding connection in the differences that make us us, um, and trying our best not to let the world harden our big hearts. Um, it really it hit me really hard because I've talked about this in other things that we've watched because of stories and just by nature of, me growing and understanding the world and myself. I never I became a person who or I've become a person who wants to do my best to make the people around me feel welcome and um accepted and comfortable, to never go through what I've been through. Um, 'Cause it sucks. And it's hard because people see that and, um still choose to hurt me and stuff like that. So it's very hard not to um let the world harden my heart and hold grudges and not become like Doctor and like, yeah, fuck fuck these people, right? It becomes harder and harder to be like Hardluck and Chopper, or well, Chopper had to learn this,
Yeah.
but
Hiriluk,
it's
yeah.
so it's Hiriluk. Um, see those dueling perspectives on screen and just it's it's difficult because like every time I feel like I am hardening to the world, something always pops up that's like we can't, like you can't, because then you just fall into the same trappings of fear and pain as others. Now, mistakes and pain and betrayal and backstabbing and it does harden you, but it also smartens you up in a different way. Uh, but it's tough dealing with the very abject understanding of that people would rather make your life more difficult because their life is difficult instead of coming together and just changing things, coming together to do better, to be better. And I've run into that a lot, that people would rather tear me apart than just, you know not just, um take on a slight optimism into the world and about themselves. Like, I have found that fear and pain are way more widespread and accepted by so many people than optimism or hope or or drive or being driven, right? Or to want to do what's right. We talk about this a lot,
Mhm.
right? And especially for the way the world works and just how we see things constantly, how the worst of the worst get praised for everything, and yet people who are, trying to do right, even in the smallest ways, are ignored or told to be silent or told to just sit there and it doesn't matter, or we're gonna keep picking you apart until you become like us, and then wipe that smile off your face. There's no way you can be like that because I'm not like that, because my life sucks. I see that your life sucks too, so why are you okay with that? Or why are you smiling or getting on with things? Why are you more comfortable with your state of being? And uh, learning that there's a lack of understanding for people who realize that their life isn't okay, but that doesn't mean I have to make everyone else's life miserable.
Yeah.
That also doesn't mean that just because everything around me is miserable that I gotta think that way every day. I mean, it's hard, right? It's hard not to. It's hard not to fall into those traps, but I don't know. I think a smile and being nice is way easier than hate and fear. And not a lot of people want to accept that.
Mhm.
They'd rather live in their misery until it bites them in the ass.
Yeah.
But then even then, some people are like, yeah, you know what? Um, Still fuck everyone. I think about the townspeople who are still calling Dr. Rita witch instead of going up to the castle like, hey, you're our last doctor. Can you come and help?
Yeah.
Like the whole village still has that slight like, and I understand that they're recovering from Blackbeard's attack, but it's like, bro, you guys need a doctor.
Yeah.
Why is no one going up there? There's a whole castle up there where you guys can be safe and fortified, but you guys are still deciding to live down here because you're afraid because of the perception that your dumbass king gave of her.
Yeah.
That you're all still living like you live like this. Live like this. Like, not to say that it's not understandable that they're struggling or what have you, but
Yeah.
it really is that mentality of, bro, you guys are down and out. I understand the fear of people coming at your door and shooting first and asking questions later, but the fact that y'all have a whole castle and a doctor up there that y'all not willing to take one for the team and see what's up.
Yeah.
And I completely understand Dr. E not wanting to go down there because it's just like, are you guys going to shoot me on sight too? You guys were chasing me just how many days ago? Like, and I get her resistance to going down there. Like, she is hardened to the world. But if you ask for her help, she'll help you. I mean, otherwise, sh- she would have like had. I mean, I don't think Chopper would have like tossed Luffy and them off the mountain. But like, she didn't have to help him.
Mm-hmm.
She could have let Chopper just figure it out, but she's a doctor. This is I don't know how the oath, like if like the oath, Doctor Oath
Mm-hmm.
is the same as like in the real world, but like they're supposed to do no harm. Now that doesn't stop doctors from doing harm. We know this, but like that she still holds that true, and that she was also affected by Hiriluk and his pers- perspective on the world,
Mm-hmm.
and that even to his dying breath, like even in his smarts, right? That he knew eating the soup would like the fact that Chopper did that for him after he kicked this kid out, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I have to make it up, and even though this is gonna kill me, what I'm gonna do is give hope to my son, to my little boy, and I'm gonna go out like a G and make sure that all these doctors see if I have like if they need help, I'll go help them. But
Mm-hmm.
if ha ha ha, joke's on me, I guess, guys. But I'm going out like a G. And I'm gonna let you all know that this what we're all stuck in doesn't need to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wish more people were like that. It's hard being like that. It's hard in this very, very scary world to be like that. But I think too many people are too comfortable in their fear and their misery to actually make a change. And then this is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are gonna watch this episode and be sad because the cute little animal kid is sad. It sucks because I don't think anyone like is gonna take. I don't. I don't want to say anyone. I don't think a lot of people are gonna take away what the message is from this episode. The way that I've seen a lot of episodes, like stories or movies or television episodes, like stories, anything that have concrete messages of, "Hey, the world is tough. That does not mean we have to fight again. We need to band together to make a change against the oppressors, against people who are driving fear into our hearts and are trying to make us believe that we need to fight each other just to get by." A lot of people are not going to walk away with that in their heart. And then that just also makes me sad because I think about conversations I've had with people about similar themes and storylines, and you think that they understand only to come to find out that they'd rather just use the idea of hope, the idea of change to just hurt others because, hey, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm scared, I'm hurting, life sucks, so yeah, your life gotta suck too. Um, yeah, it's just watching stuff like this, and then again also seeing like thinking about X-Men 97 episode 5, and a few things that I've watched, let's just say in the short time from then till now, that's like 2 years. Um, just seeing just how worse everyone has gotten.
Yeah.
Um, and watching this just like that just made me even sadder. So I love the idea of having that this doctor who is once a robber having his life changed by just a beautiful moment and understanding that too, and him say like the power of emotions, how that can heal you if you just realign yourself or if you engage in other things that make you see the world differently and how that can heal a lot of your pain. Um, but you have to make a choice to take that beauty and bestow it upon the rest of the world in any way you can.
Mhm.
Um, and I love that he took a Jolly Roger and the idea of pirates, like these are people who look at the impossible every day and are trying like even though they're good and bad pirates, but like the connection with Luffy, let's say now him, that not all pirates are trying to, stab you up and shoot up your village.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually trying to make a positive change in the world, or at least for themselves, and then in just being themselves, affect the world around them and the people around them, as we see with the Straw Hats, as we see with him now, because the situation also kind of warmed Dr. Reed's heart, right? She didn't have to take
Yeah.
Chopper, but even in Chopper's conviction, and then seeing the Jolly Roger and what it all meant, and also being heartbroken that, he's not her rival, but it's like frenemy. They're like frenemies. They're like old people who are the only old people in town.
Yeah.
So they meet up every Sunday at church or bingo, and then are always arguing like you old so and so and you old bag this, and it's like, but it's connection. They're both doctors. They're both survivors, and they're the only two people like each other.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna, they're there for each other. And even seeing those kind of relationships, I think is like really beautiful. But yeah, I love too at the end where Luffy just tells him, gotta respect the flags and the Jolly Roger. This one is so important.
Yeah.
And then showing his own power and making Chopper realize, again, you're not alone. You're not the only monster here. There
Yeah.
are so many of us out there. And it's also the concept of representation and seeing yourself in others or seeing yourself someplace
Mhm.
else to start building confidence and self-esteem and what that means for so different than Chopper, right?
Yeah.
So it's like to be born different with a little blue nose, to be ostracized by his own people, to then eat something, right, that turned him into that he didn't know, like that changed who he is on an atomic level, right? To
Yeah.
then continue to be ostracized, but then to be ostracized again, trying to live your life, and you're only a baby, and it's just like it's so much, and it really does take one person to choose to be kind, to choose to care.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I know I'm going in circles. I'm like
Um,
wrecked. I'm wrecked
nah.
for sure.
I'm
But I
just afraid
think
of what you're gonna see in the next episode.
I mean people die and shit happens.
Oh man.
Um, But watching this show and just the story, right? Understanding the story even from bits and pieces that you showed me of the animated series. Um, this is a hopeful show, right? That through everything that I've learned, through so much adversity, through so much oppression, through so much death, led by the hands of horrible people, by governments, by those who are grasping tightly at power and how they want the world to be. that there are all these people who are like, enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
We can't keep letting them do that. We can't keep letting the pain of the past or the things that have happened to us shackle us and hold us back from change, hold us back from being better, hold us back from doing more, hold us back from rebelling and fighting back. So with Bonnie, with Uta, with Chopper, with Nami, with Luffy, sometimes it just takes a smile and a pat on the shoulder to really push you forward. But we can't keep letting the bad rule the world. We have to come together and fight back. We have to stop letting these people get into our heads that we need to fight each other and destroy each other in order to get by for scraps, right? For complacency and to be comfortable in a false sense of security. Because all it's going to keep doing is biting us in the ass. We have to overthrow. We have to do more. We have to make the world a better place because they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just it's just hard to watch, and then we have conversations of people going, this is too cringy. Hey, that actress shouldn't be this character, they're too dark, you know, or the subtle racisms and microaggressions for a story that they love. Oh, this isn't political. What are you talking about? Like, just the cognitive dissonance and the whole concept of people not just being so comfortable with not onboarding change, with not onboarding hope and optimism, and just look at the pretty colors. Oh, this isn't right. Let me make my anger someone else's problem. Like, it really does feel like the world is just not listening to any cautionary tale or story, and it's just like, is there a pew pew? That's all that matters. Yeah, it's very hard to see the world where I'm just like, I know there's change. I know that there's a better tomorrow, and I can't let the other people who don't feel that way stop me from seeing the world that way. But it is exhausting to be the only one like, hey, we can change, and it's just shouting into the void because everyone's like, no, we can't. I'm sorry, but like, I'd rather just be home and miserable and make my misery your problem too. And also like, um, nothing's gonna change. So why even bother trying to make it change? Why even bother? And it's so sad. It's so sad. And then, like I said, you see it in the conversations about this stuff, and I'm just like, man, none of you guys are really absorbing what these creators are putting down. I all across the board, I see it. I see it all across the board, especially heavily in the last couple years. You guys want to tout, oh, this show is so good, this story's so good, this game is so good, this movie's so good, and then you go out and do the opposite and go be horrible people out in the world. You guys are all warbles. You guys are the world government. You guys are just like really just the extension of the world government, and you act like you're not. You act like you're Luffy, or you say that you're him, and you're really really just working for the world government. Oh my god. You want to be like, you would take Chopper in because he's so cute? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't.
A lot of
Straight up, you
performative.
wouldn't.
Oh, there's a lot of performative fans within the fandom of the One Piece. Yeah.
You want to that there's so many people who want to be like, um, yeah, that they like Hiriluk and they wouldn't give up, Dr. Rean. You straight up would. You wouldn't like you straight up wouldn't go up there to heal the other physicians and see what's up, even though you had an inkling that it might be a trick. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't be Luffy. You wouldn't be a straw hat. You straight up wouldn't. So stop capping and just understand that you're part of the world government. Any dumb take, any disingenuous take, any bad faith take about like the hopefulness or the political nature of this stuff or who's acting what and doing this and doing that, you're part of the world. This episode really solidified that for me. Like you guys are Warple. You guys are yeah,
Oh,
truly.
Yeah, it's only the beginning in terms of the villains that you're seeing. That's the crazy part. Like,
No,
yeah,
yeah, and I know that, but like
yeah.
truly, yeah, all the stuff that I don't know. I struggle a lot with. I know everyone's not me, and not everyone thinks the way I do. I mean, who would want that, right? I mean, but it really is just always so astounding to me that I can watch and engage with all this stuff, and it just keeps making me hopeful. Like, and then I have other people around me who are watching or engaging with the same things I'm doing, and you're just all horrible people. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm saying it now. I'm a One Piece fan. All you other assholes are not One Piece fans.
The performative ones, yeah,
The
yeah.
performative ones. You guys are not a fan of One Piece. You guys just like pretty colors and that's it. You guys are miserable people. Get the fuck out of here. I also just want to note that the title for last episode, Nami Dearest, is or if I'm Mommy Dearest. This episode was take on Reindeer Games. Again, just really appreciative of those other pop culture callbacks. And yeah, I think yeah, this 10 out of 10 episode. Best episode. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't wait to continue to see people going, "Oh, Chopper's a big baby. I had to stop watching it after this." Because I
Oh
started
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
what you were talking to me
There
about
is.
before about
Yeah,
Luffy and Laboon, and
yeah,
I'm just like, "What?
yeah. No,
You
there's some people. I already bookmarked one tweet. That was just like they didn't like Chopper. I will say the reason why they said they didn't like Chopper after this the last episode.
but yeah,
That's just
you
bullshit
guys
at this point.
you guys
Yeah.
aren't I read a tweet about the Laboon and Luffy thing, and they asked like kind of alluded to it's a Western problem where this is only just happening in the West where pretty much the sentimentality and empathy and kindness are no one no longer cares
Mhm.
about that, so that's why everyone's being like a harsh critic about that stuff. And I don't think it's just the West. I think it is a global problem. um yeah, again, it's astounding to me how people can engage with this stuff and go, "Oh, yeah, they're doing too much. This isn't real." Like, I mean, obviously it's not
Mhm.
real, but like, these expressions of emotions or the things that the story is talking about, like pretty much like fuck that. Compassion towards another creature and being whimsical or having a heart of gold isn't a real thing. And again, it's a choice to be that bitter.
Yeah.
It's a choice to be a bitter Betty and a sour Sally. It's a choice. And I think too many people are making that choice and don't want to engage with anything that might change their mind about how they should interact with other people because they don't want to feel that guilt about how they treat other people like garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all I gotta say on to add on to this as well is the number of people that I've seen on Twitter, right? Because Twitter's the asshole of the social media platforms, right?
Yeah.
Um, like the people saying that One Piece live action, season 2 is worse than Dragon Ball Evolution. I just need y'all to know that you guys are smoking the finest crack. It has to be the finest, purest crack in the entire world. For people to be comparing Dragon Ball Evolution to One Piece live action, see, like, bro, like I dropped as a kid. You got CTE watching anime, which should be physically impossible, but y'all making it happen. Like, or CTE typing on Twitter. Like it's like, and it has to be something. I, you know, whenever I say this about people, just let you know that it comes from a place of hate. Not even love, because I just hate that. Like, it's not even rage baiting or trolling or anything like that. No, there's people really going out with their whole chest who actually believe this, and so I have to question if something actually is wrong with these people. And the only like thing I can come up with is they got to be on drugs, and I need to be
That's
drug
like
tested immediately.
it's a weird strain of delusion where it's misery and fear.
Yeah. Look, one of the greatest quotes in the last 10 years, as long as there's delusion, there's hope. Nah, bro, we gotta kill that shit.
It's quite. I mean,
on this,
but that's the thing, though.
on this side, we gotta kill that.
Yeah, I think like there's a part of
Yeah.
that I do believe.
Yeah,
With delusion,
yeah.
there is hope, but like this is like anti-delusion, right?
Yeah,
This is
bro,
this is
son.
the thing that everyone has onboarded and decided that this is how they should live life, and just like
Nah,
again.
bro, we need a
Like, I mean, I think even just fundamentally, I've seen Dragon Ball Evolution, right?
yeah.
And I've stated before, I'm more of a Dragon Ball fan than I am a Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah.
Launch is my girl, but I've seen that movie. That movie is just fundamentally bad. It's not even a bad movie that's good. It is just a fundamentally bad movie. And I understand people disliking it and like, holding it up to comparison to other things because it is just bad.
Yeah.
But to see something like this where they're actually putting effort into the characters, effort into the sets, effort into the story, are in close connection with Oda himself, and he has active decision making, involved in this, to something that is created out of love and care for the IP to go, this is worse than Dragon. No, you guys really are choosing to be miserable. Like
They are.
it is like
Wait, I
someone
don't.
hit
If
you
I
with
had
the
a
anti-delusion beam.
bro, if there was a spoon and I need to like put the pipe in the crack, or you need to shoot whatever type of crack that people are taking, I need y'all to get some help, please. Like,
Drug free is the way to be.
Like,
at least in this sense.
Yes, yes, because Lord have mercy. I'm not even I'm not even the person that would be like, yo, I need some of what y'all smoke. I don't even want that. That nah, bro. It's yeah, but I'm gonna leave it at that because I do want to show you the anime version of this scene after the next episode, for episode 8, so you can see exactly how they compare to each other too. I guess with that said, we'll just move on to episode 8, the first episode. But you have one more thing?
I do want to say real quick, his doctor speech reminded me of the Doctor Who. And why I love that character so much too. There's a couple speeches, at least in New Who. I engage with a lot of old Who, where it is like, I'm a doctor, I'm here to help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I think about all my like Star Trek doctors and stuff like that, and just the concept of seeing people in need, and even though they piss you off, you drop what you do and help.
Yeah.
And even if you feel like you're being tricked, that shouldn't stop you from helping people. Yeah, I just wanted to add that there because yeah, again, I just see people engaging with the stuff that I engage with and completely not onboarding anything like that. So yeah, if I end up with cross scrolls with cherry blossoms, that is on my list of tattoos. Aside from my Father, Son, and Holy Spirit One Piece tattoo. Never read the manga, haven't watched the anime, but
yeah,
when characters and stories and themes affect me, to me it is important to immortalize it in some way, so that when I'm gone and buried and burned up, people know what I'm about. So yeah, yep. Help people. Help
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Folks, 10 out of 10 episode. I can't wait to see how they bring it all together for another emotional episode coming up. So we'll catch you guys in episode 8. You already know. Elsis.